I am Ann-Peggy Divine. Welcome to the Divine Design, the podcast where we unfold heaven on earth and reframe spirituality and theology for a new cosmic era. Your journey on human evolution and integration of your divine design starts here. Now, before you jump into this episode, if this conversation resonates with you, please like, subscribe, and share this with whoever you feel that needs to hear it. Together, your support helps us sustain this work, bringing transformational wisdom into the world and nurturing the awakening of our shared foundation, Mother Earth. Thank you very much. Welcome to Divine Design Podcast, Ilaria from Italy.
Yes, thank you for having me. Hi.
And you are so sporty to say yes, because now you are in a big upgrade, and it's like, I'm in a big upgrade. I don't know if this is appropriate to do a podcast. And I myself have been in an upgrade for 4 days, and it's like, yes, this is in the field. I have spoken with so many people that is, wow, it is crazy time. My body is kind of like this and this. Yeah, so it is kind of what is happening to humanity.
Yes, definitely. It's something that is going on through a lot of people. That's what I see too. But I'm going through this very big shift, and I can see like my body's still going through it too, by healing from this sickness,
Yeah.
let's say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a big shift that is going on. It's so big that our bodies are like trying to adapt, and obviously feels like a little bit intense and energy requiring. So we feel like tired, and it is an interesting way to um, to manifest this shift. But it is positive, I feel. I feel like it's a very, very good thing that is going on. And it is very scary as well. Um, that's how I see it. And that's why it's so easy, I think, to interpret it negatively, like, oh no, this is a catastrophe going on. I shouldn't go through this. But actually it is a very good thing. And if we can like just surf it in this way and be like surfing this wave, I feel like we are really going in this like shift,
Yeah.
like just jumping in another dimension pretty quickly. That's how it feels.
Yeah. But when I had these 4 days now, I was reminded when I started this 10 years ago, when my body started like this. And I was kind of activating what happened when you were a group. I think we was 8, 9 in a group, and we had an activation. And in this activation, all of us became sick. And almost all of us thought that we had cancer. And our heart was so out of control. So all of us had heart problems. The heart ache and what the pain of the heart was so crazy. And I also had a lot of pain in my first chakra, the root chakra. So it's like, but that was my pathway, kind of. But I remember that big because all of us had so much pain, and it's like, I remember the one that guided us. They said, this is normal. It is an upgrade. Because from the old way of thinking, it's like something crazy. All of us wanted to go to the doctor, to hospital, because this has to be something completely wrong. This is insane, because the pain can be so intense. The heart pain was so intense. I remember it's like, this can't just be an upgrade, because this is for real. Because it's like, so the old way of thinking is like, this is for real. I cannot just say that it is an upgrade. So if we use our kind of program and that, no, I have to go to the hospital. But I have done it now for 13 years. Upgrade. And I have even fainted into surrendering the pain and woke up. It's like, wow. So I understand that people can be afraid, because if we go to the mind, it's like the reference we have in our understanding is that this is something seriously. I will die. It feels like we are
Yeah.
dying, and we are.
Exactly. Like I've been that's so amazing that you told me this happened to you like 10 years ago. I think it started with me also around like how when was that? At least like 12 years ago. Yes, like around the same time more or less. And it felt exactly the same way. I felt like, oh, my time is short. I'm about to die. I was 20 something. I was like 19 probably. And I was like I am gonna die. I have to figure this out. Like there was something in me that like there was like I need to know how can I communicate this immense love that I feel
Yeah.
inside. Like this is like so big. I need to find words to share it with other people and say, hey, you can be in peace too. But it was such a scary situation as well, especially when you don't have a guide and you don't have someone that can actually give you like a different interpretation that is different from what your mind is telling you. So I had to have faith in that moment and be like, okay. And I was not religious at the time. I come from a very religious family, from Egyptian or Orthodox family, and I wasn't. I was like, I'm science. I only have to see what I believe in, like, And then that shifted also. It made me more humble and more open to be like, wait, maybe I don't know what is true. I don't know what it is, you know. But I definitely had like that feeling of something, I'm dying, like this is the end, I need to figure this out. And obviously I didn't die, I'm still here. but but it felt that way. um Obviously I would never recommend anyone to not go to the doctor and be like don't check on your health. That's always like the first number one thing. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
if you feel like something in your body is going on, check on your health.
yeah.
um but the spiritual part of this is what we are talking about. We are talking about not being afraid of that energetic shift that we perceive. Also because I feel like we are not doing it. We are just available to it. Like that's something that is going on in the entire humanity. Evolution always happened before and keep happening. We are not doing evolution. And actually, when we stop trying to control the process and stop like being I am evolving myself and be like I'm available to evolve. That's when I feel like our body can rest and actually um, process it better and not get sick. I think we get sick more often when we try to be like, okay, I have to make it this way because this is the right thing. And yeah, I have a little bit of that perfectionism thing, in which I want everything to be, I don't know how it should be. But at the end, I'm human. I'm be like, okay, let's make it as it is. Let's be it. But it's an interesting shift what is happening right now because I feel like it's so fast. It is like a little bit different from the ones that I have experienced it in the past in these
Yes.
10 years. And
Yeah.
I feel like this one is kind of, and we can see it in the world as well, what is going on outside. Most of people are scared. Most of people can see like this, I don't know, war, and everybody's so distracted. But that's the point, like the amount of energy that it is cold right now that is like involved in every one of us can be actually it is our gift. It is what we can be like it is so much what we can be with this, what we can actually transform ourselves to be in the world. And we can see um, the scary part of it. We can see what will happen if that energy takes that negative thing, that negative turn. But what if we make it take the other turn? We are the ones called upon to make it transform it in the other direction. Like just take it. Let's embrace it and be like, whoa, we can be ourselves authentically. We can be the joyful ones, even when everything's breaking down and feels like scary. We can be that light. We are called to just like keep reminding ourselves of the beauty of being alive right now. We are alive. We can do so many things. We can love each other. We can sip a cup of coffee, Italian
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah.
We can just talk to each other in a podcast, and that's so beautiful, and get to know each other better.
Yeah, because this is the first time we connect, even though we are in a program together. So I don't know so much about you, and you don't know so much about me. But um, when you spoke, I was thinking about some of the feedback that I have gotten lately. So many have experienced cancer, and some got kind of the diagnosis and prognosis. It is stage 4, it is deadly. And several of the people that have I have worked with have been in hospital, and the doctor said, well, maybe you have a month, maybe you have 3 months, and someone years. And it's like, wow, why do we say that? So what I have done, I have made them meditation, so to activate their light, like we are talking about. How can we activate light even when the doctor said, well, this is deadly? Because it is the old that wants to die.
Mhm.
And just last week, two of, well, the one I have worked with, you need to put out this personal voice transmission because that kind of saved me. Do you know how important it is? One of them said that all my mothers, my siblings, my husband, my kids, all was so afraid because I had stage 4 cancer, and they what they heard was, you will die, you will die. And she was kind of the one serving the whole family. She was serving her parents, her siblings, her family. She was kind of, someone of us is kind of serving all. We are the holder. So she was the holder. And when she got the prognosis, all of them went into crisis. And she said, you were the only one that I could listen to, because if I went into all what I heard, I would actually create more illness. So I
Mhm.
made her, I recorded myself and said, this is your thought, and also gave her a meditation. And she said, this, do you know the shift? Just thinking. It is like we are talking about. But
Mhm.
when you are in hospital and when you have a deadly disease, or the doctor said it is deadly, um, this may be the old personality dying and something new is birthing. Then it will be beneficial to have something else to listen to that kind of activates our essence.
It is really beautiful that you can bring this other perspective to the people that opened up to you. And obviously, I'm really sorry for this is like a very challenging, this is a very challenging thing to hear about yourself for sure. And I have an aunt who passed away actually from cancer after several years of fighting it. Let's say not, I don't know if it was a fight. It was like an interesting path for sure, for everybody, for her and for everybody around her. But she was such and she still is, in everyone's, I still feel her
Yeah.
around us. And what was impressive about my aunt was that she was not afraid to die. She was really very, very religious, very, very connected to God, connected to something bigger.
Yeah.
And whenever I was asking her like questions like that, like I was like, "Are you scared to die?" She was like, "I'm not. No, the only thing I want, and I ask God for, is that He's gonna take care of my kids." And she was like, just like, "I want to make sure that everyone around me would be fine,
Yeah.
but I'm not scared because I know I will feel way better." And but that was impressive because in with that mood, she could just go through cancer
Yeah.
with still aliveness,
Yeah.
She still wanted to go by the sea in Alexandria in Egypt and just like smell the air, enjoy the fresh, the sound of the sea and the ocean. Um, she was enjoying and savoring every sip of life. And I think that sometimes when we receive such a strong diagnosis, it can obviously scare us,
Yeah.
especially because doctors have this, I think, depends on what doctor you meet,
Yeah.
but many doctors, obviously, they are very science related, as if that is a religion.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
and they apply statistics to say, okay, this is the truth.
Yeah.
But honestly, nobody of us know when we are gonna die, first of all. We don't know it. And if someone is so lucky to have channeling, I don't know. But the thing is that we are all gonna die, right? All of us. I felt it when I was 20. I was like, we are dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we are all gonna die, right? And so the thing is, how do we want to live before that happens? Like
Yeah.
we don't want to predict. The doctor can predict, but that's not true because that's statistics. It's based on this amount of people that we studied in this actual place, not even
Yep.
everyone in the world.
Yep. Yeah.
Happen to have 1 month, 2 months when they had these diagnoses. This is not the actual truth, like the ultimate truth. It's just statistics. And when you understand and study statistics, because I studied psychology, and I'm actually graduating very soon in my second master's in psychology, and so I had to study statistics, and I was like, whoa, this is BS. Like this is not what doctors tell us about. This is just like an amount of information that they collect somewhere in the world that is not saying the truth. It's not saying the ultimate truth. It's just like for now, that's what we think. It is the truth, but it's not the ultimate truth. And so a long time ago, I decided to change my perspective about reality, saying, I don't know. I prefer to live from this mystery. I became like a mystery devotee in which I'm just like, I prefer to not know rather than thinking to know what is the truth about an outcome and panicking about it, right? You don't know. And the I don't know can feel scary but exciting at the same time.
Yep.
Like when you receive that gift and you don't know what is it gonna be, right? And you're like, I want to know. And you try unpack it. The process itself, it's the excitement. So you can allow yourself to take this very scary gift that life gave you, gift that called cancer, and you're like, it's a gift?
Yeah.
Ew, like when that family member gives you that thing, you're like, this is what you thought when you thought about me, okay? And you don't know how to react, right? But you have to, you're a woman, you have to be kind. You're like, okay, thank you, this is very nice. I put it there. And then you freak out later, right? You freak out later. Same thing with the doctors. They would be like, this is your gift. You have a month. You'd be like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you have the possibility to just sit with it and be like, I don't know. I don't know why I received this. I don't know why life is giving me this. And obviously, it's not involving only me, it's involving everyone around me. We don't know, but I know how I want to live my life in this moment, how I want to feel in this moment. That's what I know. You
Yeah.
have direction
Yeah.
to to actually bring light in every moment and be like, no, I want to be in peace right now,
Yeah.
regardless of how much time, because time is, again, what is time? We can take another direction in this conversation and be completely lost about what is actually time. I come from a family of 3 generations of watchmakers. And so my grandpa in Egypt, he was like making watches, adjusting them. My dad does it. I did it for a while and I changed path. But I still, counting time is just a measure, right? We have this measure, it's helpful, of course, but it's not an objective thing. We can we can have 24 hours in a day that
Yeah.
switch like that,
Yep.
and the same 24 hours can feel forever. You
Yep.
can savor every second, you can enjoy, um, and you'll be like, wow, this is such a long day. It's only 1 p.m. and I still have so much time. So it really, I think, um, I think that when we receive like very challenging news about our health, we can totally have compassion for ourselves and our bodies, of course, and be like, I know this isn't easy, but I can do hard things. You
Yep.
can you can unlock that information inside of yourself, and doing hard things sometimes it is just being peaceful and relaxed and be like I can savor this pain right now, which is weird sometimes, right? I had a lot of challenging health issues in the past years, and I'm still learning how to help my body
Yeah.
adjust to them. And it took so many years to find doctors that actually validated my intuition. So
Ah,
many years, so many doctors, so many wrong interpretations. And I was like, I think it's my gut, the problem." Everyone, nah, it's not your gut. It's not your gut. Doesn't have anything to do with it. I was like, okay. But several years symptoms, more symptoms. So I know that it can be frustrating. I know it can be very challenging to be dismissed every time that you have an intuition about yourself. But that's the point. Like you
yep.
can learn to listen to yourself. You can
Yep.
still have compassion for the person in front of you that is doing its own best in that moment, that that person doesn't know better in that moment, and it's okay.
Yep.
It's totally okay. We don't have to be like that. It's okay. Just let it be human as you are human and everyone is human, right? But that's I think that's the beauty of um of being human. We are messy. We are just so messy
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
all the time. Um and we can definitely learn to shift our perspective around this messiness and be like enjoying it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the messiness, enjoy the weird gift that you received,
Yeah.
and be like, oh my God, okay, this doesn't fit in my room. And be like, what should I do with this? You don't need to know how. You don't need to know. You don't need to know it right now. Um, it will become clear
Yeah.
while you go through it. It's just like um it's a choice that you make in every second. That's what I tell myself.
Yep.
It's a You keep choosing in every moment how you want to see it. You have the choice, you have the freedom, the free will to see it differently
Yeah.
in every single moment.
I love what you are talking about, and it's like, yeah, what you are describing, that all life is relational. And when we have a sickness, it is our, because your gut said that it is something with your gut, but so you are in relationship with your body, your gut, and you listen to it. But and then when you come to the doctor, say, no, 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 because he's or she is supposed to know better. But we are in relationship to our own body, to our own environment, and all what is happening. So it is to trust what the environment activate, because our DNA is kind of an interface between our surroundings and our higher and our personality. So the DNA, they have, you talk about the scientists and all this. What we have now found out is that the DNA, it is not static. It is activated from our surroundings. So if we
Yeah.
are living in, if we have experienced atomic bomb like Hiroshima, we know that people living in a field that has had an atomic bomb, it will affect our body, because the
Mhm.
surroundings does something with our DNA, and suddenly crazy thing happens. And also we have seen that all the vaccine that we have taken in COVID, a lot of craziness has come up because you don't understand all the sickness that has come up as a response of all the vaccine. Not that all vaccine is awful, but some of them are really hurtful. So that is what we put into our body. And also if something crazy happens in our field, like now we are in a time that we are threatening with atomic bomb, and just doing atomic bomb, people that live in this field, they will become sick, even though they don't die right away, just by because it is a curse. It's like a poison. So we are in relationship to all. So what you talk is like you describe it so perfectly. Everything is relationship.
I completely agree with this, and I truly believe that we can choose sometimes to do the scary, to take that scary choice of changing our environment. Some other times we don't have the possibility at the moment to change the surroundings, and that doesn't have to scare us because um, I love that that you mentioned the DNA because I'm super nerdy about these things, and I love talking about the DNA so much.
Yeah.
I actually the painting that I did many years ago, right there, has like a part about the DNA because in that part I was like also uh, talking about the DNA that is actually not static. It is vibrational. It is
Yeah.
activated,
Yeah.
and but coming back about the environment part, sometimes we don't have the possibility to change our environment, and that's okay because it's not necessarily our environment that is gonna shape us and activate us. It is, as you said, a combination, right? From something that goes through us, our interpretation, how we interpret, how we feel, what we eat, what we do, and also our environment. So our environment is part of the equation, is
Yeah.
not the main part of it. It can be a very influencing part, but it doesn't have to be the reason why we get sick. For instance, they've done so many studies around that, right? Of course, the people that you surround yourself, that's very important, and you have
Yeah.
to choose. It is brave sometimes to close toxic relationships, even if they don't look like toxic, but they are toxic. That
Yeah.
like naughty comment every now and then, and when you set your boundaries they shout, they're not, they gaslight you. Nah, let it go, it's okay. 10 years it's fine, 20 years it's fine. You can go on and find people that can actually love you and take care of your health as well. But I really love the metaphor, that picture that sometimes we see online. It was everywhere with that flower in the cement. Like there is like this crack in
Yep.
the cement
Yep.
and the flower that goes through this crack,
Yep.
right? We, if a flower can do that, why can't you do that? Like
Yep.
we are, yes, there is like this hard, very hard to change environment sometimes, but we can still flourish
Yep.
from that.
Yep.
And about the DNA, when I was studying it, I was like mind blown by the intuitions and things that were going through me about the DNA because when you study it, it's very clear. It says it. There is no such thing as an information in the DNA. It only is an interpretation of the DNA, which it means that the DNA goes this, it's always inside of the nucleus, it never comes out, right? And how does it affect you? By having a copy of it, the mRNA, right? But the copy is never the perfect copy of the whole DNA, right? It just takes a part of the DNA. And still, before it comes out of the nucleus and start affecting your whole body, it gets cut and sewed again. So your body decides what part of the DNA are gonna be cut out and have a different sentence in it. Imagine if you cut out some words from a sentence, it's gonna have a completely different meaning.
Yeah,
Same process happens in every single fraction of a second in our body, in every single cell of our body. So who is cutting that thing? That apparently useless, just like workers inside of our bodies, we control them. The
yeah,
light inside of us controls those, and it tells them, okay, cut that information. I want this sentence to come out and affect my body. We have in every second the control to, not the control, but the freedom to
yeah,
just like
yeah,
accept like that we can, with our peace inside, with our like authenticity, with our gratitude for everything. We have a bed. We are so lucky. We have a pillow every day. We have a, we can cover ourselves when we go to sleep. We have so much.
yeah,
We are so wealthy all the time. And when you step um, in this frequency and you say just yes to it and choose to say yes to it continuously, you tell your body what part of the DNA you want to activate. So when doctors say, this is it, say thank you. I don't need to, which can seem delusional,
yeah,
but you know what? Like, be delusional. Who cares?
yeah.
At
I
least you are a happy delusional, a joyful delusional that can spread light around you and still enjoy life and um, go through something that other people are so scared about with this like lightness
yeah,
of knowing like the crazy thing about coming back to the cancer and my aunt is that her husband, he had other health issues, but everyone was scared for my aunt. Obviously, my cousins were like very worried for her because they were like, she has cancer, we have to, take care of her. And nobody knew and nobody expected that her husband was gonna pass away before her. And that happened.
wow,
So
yeah,
he was suddenly traveling to the other world, and so everyone was shocked. Everyone was like, wait, we were like so obsessed and they felt so guilty. We're like, we never know. We we don't know. And it's better to stay with that I don't know
yeah,
rather than focus on statistics.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
BS. That's how I call them. It's okay. It can be helpful for science. I understand the point of doing it, but
yeah,
for I think um, we need more statistics that include also people like us,
yeah.
and
I agree.
that's what I believe in. That's what I think. Um, yeah,
And
that's what I wrote my thesis on. My first thesis on. Wait, where is it? It's right there. That one. It's about consciousness and how to measure this collective consciousness, like the people who actually, you know, um, can feel themselves connected to everyone else in this one consciousness. And so that was like a way to put inside of psychology a little bit
yeah.
of more. Let's include statistics that talk about this too.
Yeah, and when you talk, it's a good example, and we have heard it a lot of time. Some of the people experienced the Holocaust because most of the people were killed, but some of them, well, I will survive because I need to be a witness of this. I need, so they activated, even though this extremely cruelty that happened, I know that I will survive, even though the worst pain. So both men and women had this activation. I will survive even this cruelty, and they became a witness. But they activated something in them, as you said. So it is not only the surroundings.
Yeah.
And another thing I thought about when you said about because they have their religion, and this is the amazing thing with religion because a lot of people it doesn't all the religion, if you go to the essence, they talk about the same. So, and this is kind of to be in the source of us. Sorry. And also to know that, okay, this is a physical life, but it it's not the end. It is the end of this physical body, of this experience, this programming, but it will continue. And when you are in connection to your source, whatever you call it, whatever religion, I see that people that are religious and just have the calmness to go through every crisis, it is so helpful. So actually, I think it is easier to walk with people that believe in a higher force. I helped a man that, yeah, was put into hospital, and the doctor said, "You will die. Now this is the end." And he is an old man, very old man. And when I spoke to him, he was almost dead. He had prepared to die because the doctor had said. And then I said, "Well, I will give you a meditation." And then I spoke to him, "You will not die. This is not your time." And this is a year ago. And he's still living. So even if we are 80, 90, even 100, if the doctor said, "Well, now is the time you will die." But, and when he listened to the meditation I gave him and said, "You are right, I will not," but he was into the death process. He was already dying. So he bought what the doctor said. And then, "No, you will not die. Listen to this and activate." And he was religious. That was my point.
Yeah.
So he said, "Of course, I have a decide in it. It's not the doctor that decide that no, it's your time to death." I knew, and he connected to his higher source, and he's still living today.
Wow,
So
that's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. I love that. I love that you could share with him your knowledge and your instruments to give him like a different perspective, and that he embraced it and he's still alive. That's I love that. I love that. I had chills while you were talking. My whole body was like responding like yes and celebrating it. I love this information. It is it is so true though. It is so true. Like I noticed the same pattern about like people who have like some sort of faith, any kind of faith,
yeah,
regardless of what kind of faith. Um, yes, sometimes it's linked to religion, sometimes it's just a philosophy, some other time it's just like a different mindset.
yeah,
Um, and I feel like, I was born in Italy and raised by Egyptian parents. So I always had like these very different cultures, different perspectives that were always very different and sometimes confusing, right? But I always learn, like I had the possibility to learn to speak different languages and understand that the words sound very different, but the meaning is the same. So, same thing, I applied it to reading religions and philosophies. I've been like through a long path of discovering like Hinduism, Buddhism, Sufism, Islam, and Christianity in different types of Christianity since my family is Orthodox, and then and I could see the pattern that you spoke about, like how there is this core message in all of them,
yeah,
and uh, like I loved like I love all of them still. Like I'm like very
yeah,
into discovering and listening to these different languages because it's like for someone to tell me, do you prefer English, Italian, or Egyptian? I what's the point? Like to prefer them. I just use them depending on who I'm talking to, right? We just need to communicate to each other something. And if you understand this language better, I will shift to that language so that we can understand each other better and we can communicate what we are trying to communicate. And so definitely, I noticed that when you talk to people who have already a faith, it is kind of easier to let them let go of the control and receive the love, receive the possibility of having a future. But still, even with people um, who don't have like a specific faith, there is still this possibility because at the end, yes, we have like this divine source in all of us, and that's what I believe in. But it's okay to not believe this. It's okay to to just like be completely human, because this is also truth.
Yeah.
This is also the truth. It's
Yeah.
not like either this or that, right? It's not either biology or either physics. It's not either chemistry or they all are the same. They are studying the same things. They're
Yeah.
just applying a different perspective and a different language to describe it. So if we are talking to someone who doesn't have a faith and is going through something very, 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 very challenging, like a sickness, or as you said, like a holocaust, right? Something that is impressively so devastating, right? And scary and nonsense sometimes, right? Giving it a meaning, interpreting it with a meaning, it allows us to stay strong and resilient through that time. And but I'm saying like since you are like let's find the language that the person understand better
Yeah.
and use that language so
Yep.
that we don't have to convince that person, hey, you have to believe to something higher. There is another reason why. We can find those reasons in the story of that person and just reminding that person that this other part of that person exists,
Yeah.
like parts of their unconsciousness that they're unconscious, that are like, okay, in the past you've been through something challenging, right? How did you cope with it? What did you do in that moment? Remember that you have that resilient part of yourself and activate it now. So we just need to understand what's the language that that person uses,
Yeah.
and and try to bring the same meaning, but without forcing any belief. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But definitely like something so scary like the the Holocaust, or even as you we can see like something that is going on right now in the world. It's many of my friends were like in panic, and we talked and we had some conversation around that, and I was like, this always happened. This
Yeah.
is not a new thing, right?
Yeah.
um, and I've been through moments of deep desperation in my life, deep uh, scary moments of why I'm abandoned, right? You feel completely alone, you feel completely abandoned with
Yeah.
that. um, but if I can use religion as an example, the story of Jesus, it says exactly that. Like the Son of God says to God in that moment in which he's on the cross, why did you abandon me? Like, and that's the point. Like we are all as humans going through the same experience of feeling completely abandoned, even when we have faith,
Yeah.
even when we have or don't have a faith. That's the human experience part that we cannot avoid
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yep.
It's unavoidable. Some of
Yep.
us can be more lucky or pretend to be more lucky, but I think that all of us go through that deep abandonment wound of feeling completely like, why is this happening to me? Like I've been so good. I tried to be a good person, and it like you feel like a punishment from life and you don't understand it. The meaning becomes clear after.
Yeah.
The reason why becomes clear after that. You have to go through it, and you can learn you can learn ways to go through it. It doesn't have to be super awful, but sometimes it is, and that's okay too. Um, but yeah, definitely like the meaning becomes clear, and this meaning doesn't have to be one meaning. Sometimes it evolves as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yep. Yeah.
1 year later you think, oh, that's the reason why I went through that. 2 years later you're like, those are the reasons. Like many reasons why I've been through that.
Yeah.
And it keeps evolving. It
Yeah.
keeps, and that's the beauty. That's the part of beauty of it. Like it's
Yeah, yeah,
never the same reason. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and
it
when you
is.
talk about this religion and spirituality, as you say, if we don't have it, it's okay. We can meet them where they are. I just had a session with someone, didn't believe in God, didn't believe in religion, didn't believe in soul, nothing. It's like, this is my life and that's all.
Mhm.
And then I went by that and I say, what do you believe in? So when it went through this life, kind of releasing the tension in this life, it's like, and then it experienced something that wasn't a part of this life. And this person didn't want to think about past life because in its experience, it is no past life. So it's like, well, but I feel a part of me had been kidnapped. So even though this person haven't experienced kidnapping, it was she felt the kidnapping and it was in her cell. So and I said, okay, that's okay. Just go through it, and if you go, you don't need to believe in whatever, but what can you believe in? And then suddenly she was in the moon because you can see the moon, so you can believe in the moon. So she was in the moon and had a lot of experience in the moon. So it's like going with the person, even though what it believe in. So it is its journey. So even though I work with people, it is a lot of people that is not religious, and I'm not religious in one way. I believe in a higher source. I believe that all of us have the what divine design is God within. I believe that all of us are God within, so we can activate that. But I work with a lot of people that don't believe in anything, and that's okay. It is their journey, and I'm not raised in any religion. So my mother and father, they was kind of no, 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 totally against all religion. So when I became 40 year, then something opened in me, and going to the part, the shamanic part, I was led into the shamanic part, and then I was guided to study theology and go more and more into that. And I work with a lot of priests. I work in a congregation and with people, and it's like, so I interweave. Most I have been in medical practices because this has been what interested me. But in my path, I went into religion, Christianity, because it was that. And I'm still studying theology, but and I have been in a lot of conversation with about what is God. I remember when I studied a subject that the teacher said, our what we must try to do, we must convince Ann-Peggy that her way of understanding God is wrong. So he told the class that we, because it was kind of, I say, I don't see a man up there saying it is this way, and I told him the way and he said, okay, we need to change her. So, and it is interesting. So, because I said the foundation that we are speaking from is totally different, but it's okay. Yeah. So, because he said it is one ultimate truth, he said, this is the correct, it is one ultimate truth. And I said, well, it is as much truth as it is people. No, 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 no. It's just one ultimate truth. So it is very interesting. So we help each other, we activate each other, and even though we think differently, it is okay. We can reflect and be kind to each other, even though we don't believe in anything.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. And I love how you have been challenged and be chosen as the one to be like the black sheep, let's say, okay, let's change her view and tell her that's wrong. Because that's actually what happens all the time. Like even with the best intentions, like people who believe in something, even if it's not believing in anything, sometimes they just like trying to convince you because that's what works for them.
Yeah.
And they're like in good intentions, be like, hey, you should I fell on that game too, in which I was like, I know the truth, but this is makes me feel so good. You should feel good too. And you know,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
don't have bad intentions, but that's the part of it, like it understanding it later and be like, wait a minute, like never believe in anyone like who tells you they have the ultimate truth. Never. I fell in that thing too. That's another story, very
Yeah.
long story. So um I think that there is like always a dark side of everything, right? There is always a dark side. I love the yin yang because it's really like that. There's
Yeah.
always a dark side in every good thing, and same a good side in every bad thing. And it's definitely challenging to be in that spot with every person, like in every relationship, in everything, to be challenged by having a completely different belief, completely different perspective, and still stay open and in love and feel connected to that person. Um, but here's what how I see this. We all have our very individual experience of life. Even if you believe and we believe we are all connected and we all have the same consciousness, yes, but still, my experience, it's it's always gonna be completely different from everyone else, right?
Yep.
And we can try with communication, with love, with whatever we have to try to understand each other and try to, but this is how I interpret it, this is how I see it, and we try, but we will never, ever be able to see the world from that person perspective. That's the uniqueness, that's the beauty of being different, and that's also the gift. Like when that person tries to give you a little bit of side of what they see, you can see it as they're painting. Like I paint, I did art high school when I was younger, and so you can look at what they are talking about as their art and be like, oh, I would do it differently, but I love what you painted there. Like, that's not my style, but I like that you have your own style in describing what is your experience. And it is sometimes when we try to help people, of course, when we are in that position in which we want to relieve that person from some suffering and we are called to be that person, we need to remember there is also a dark side in that position as well, which is like, and right now I'm working as a coach, but I will get into clinical psychology very soon. This is something that I have experienced as a patient and as a student of a spiritual teacher as well. Sometimes, like from the other side, the coach, the therapist, the whatever healer, think to know the truth, thinks to know what is right for the other person. The doctor, for instance, they believe to know what is the right thing for that person. That's the dark side of it. We never know. We never know what is actually right for that person. We never know what is the best for that person to experience. We don't know why this other soul is going through what is going through, right? We can just apply our knowledge, our instruments, our experience to try to help them relieve a little bit of the suffering around that experience. Uh, but it's very important for us to stay in the humble position of service,
Yep.
because otherwise we just add another, you know, another suffering experience to that person, like the doctor who tells you, "Hmm, you have a month, like
Yep.
because I know
Yep.
what is you are going
Yep.
through." No, no, you don't know. You can have like some information, but is it really useful for the person to know that information?
Mm.
Are you sure that information is necessary for
Yeah.
that person?
Yep.
So sometimes less is better,
Yeah.
but we definitely need to remember that we are human too, and we can do we always have like a little bit of ew, that was not necessary, but we can learn from it. um but definitely we have to be very, very, very humble and careful when we help someone. I think I've been on the other side too, as a patient,
Yep.
as a student of a spiritual teacher, and unfortunately, um, I had to experience also the other side of it, like
Yeah.
being completely, lost and not believing in myself anymore, and losing that connection with my intuition because someone else was giving me an interpretation that was different from what I was um, living inside. And because they were the, sorry, I have noise everywhere here, but they were the reliable source, right? They were the ones with the degrees, or they were the ones with the knowledge, or she is the spiritual teacher, she might know better than I know. um I lost that connection for a while with myself, and the
Yeah.
suffering became more. And that's another toxic situation, but I was gaslit all the time about that by saying, "Oh, this is the releasing process. This is how it goes. Oh, you're feeling worse. That's okay. That's part of the process." But it was a never-ending feeling worse. So I was like, when am I gonna feel better? Like when I'm going to heal? Like why is never happening? So we always need to have like that a little bit doubt inside
Yep.
whoever we um it's not doubt but a curiosity
Yeah.
mindset, like you
Curiosity.
you stay curious about yourself and the process, and never trust anyone who tells you this is the ultimate truth, I have the solution, I have the ultimate. Like, okay, thank you. But let's understand we are all humans on the same level, right?
Yeah.
Some people have a little bit more experience in one field, but nobody's gonna be you. Nobody's gonna um, really be your own intuition. That's only yours.
Yeah.
You can, nobody else is gonna give it to you. Nobody else is gonna take it from you. And when you start listening to it, just because you wanna relax, just because you want to be in peace and in love, and you be like, that's what I need.
Yeah.
Take it. Just
Yeah.
take it and be like, whatever, whatever. I'm fine. But it's not like I resign in a um let's say in a I don't have power mood. It's like a very empowering letting go. It's very empowering letting go. It's like I don't need to know. I love this moment, even if I don't understand a thing about
Yeah.
it. Like, whatever.
Yeah. I love that you are going to work as a clinical psychology, because what you have in your foundation, this is you are I see you as a future psychologist. So I love that, and I had so many things I want to ask you about this. Can we talk about this? But if we go into all this, so I will, rather than asking all this, can we do another podcast, because this is kind of, we have been there, so, and you said yes, even though you are in a big upgrade. So if we close this now, and then we will have another podcast in this interesting, I think it was very interesting, so I'm just say thank you so much.
You. Thank you. Yes, you just like allow me to talk about everything that I love, and I'm like so excited about it. So why not again? Of course, for me, it's just like conversation with a friend and spending a good time together. So of course, I would be happy to talk about these things another time. And um, yeah, there is so much, so
Yeah,
much to talk about,
so
and
thank you,
I'm,
yes.
I'm sure I will feel better for the next time.
Thank you for listening to the Divine Design podcast with Ann-Peggy Divine. Join us next Sunday for another heaven on earth unfolding conversation. With grace, reverence, and unity, may the path of your divine design light the way. From the divine in us to the divine in you.